HubSpot makes impossible growth impossibly easy for their customers. And here's the perfect example. Morehouse College needed to reach new students with fresh, engaging content. But with a massive 900-page website, even the tiniest updates took 30 minutes to publish. Breeze, HubSpot's collection of AI tools, helped them write and optimize their content in a fraction of the time. The results? 30% more page views, and visitors now spend 27% more time on their site. If you're ready for impossible growth like this, you can visit HubSpot.com. Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 31st. I'm Jon Weigell, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. When a weird cocktail made from Miller High Life, Aperol, and juice becomes the drink of summer in 2025, it's not just about taste, it's about economics. Today we're exploring how this drink, called the Spaghett, became an unofficial recession indicator, offering cash-strapped Americans a way to enjoy cocktail culture at beer prices. So we'll get to that in a bit, but first, let's give you the news in business and tech. Starting us off, Starbucks is set to shut down its pickup-only stores just 6 years after introducing the concept. The coffee giant cites that these pickup windows don't align with the company's vision anymore. CEO Brian Nichols said he finds the concept, quote, overly transactional and lacking of human connection. I agree with that. Next, JPMorgan Chase might be taking over a big Goldman Sachs client, Apple. The company is currently in talks to take over the helm of Apple's credit card business. Currently, the Apple credit card is run by Goldman Sachs and has been since the card's launch in 2019. Now looking towards space, UK space surveillance startup Spaceflux scored $7.2 million to expand its global network of ground-based optical sensors, keeping Spacewatch 24/7. Or at least they're monitoring all the stuff between us and the heavens, namely the increasingly congested tangle of satellites and space debris. Spaceflux's proprietary system will combine visible and shortwave infrared imaging for daylight visibility. And finally here, nobody really takes unlimited PTO, which is why prebiotic soda maker Olipop is incentivizing its employees to do just that. This summer, when workers request the recommended 5 straight days off, they'll get entered into a raffle for a $1,000 travel stipend. Can buy a lot of soda with that. And for more updates like that, subscribe to the show and we'll have more for you tomorrow. And now we're talking about the Spaghett. Yes, it's called the Spaghett, like spaghetti without the I. And if you haven't heard of it yet, you're about to understand why this 3-ingredient cocktail says more about the American economy than most financial reports. So picture this, you're taking a swig from a Miller High Life bottle, you pour in some Aperol, and then you squeeze a drop of lemon or orange juice, and boom, you got yourself a Spaghett. It sounds ridiculous, it tastes kind of good, and it costs a fraction of what you'd pay for a proper cocktail at a real trendy bar. And that last part, that's exactly why this dive bar creation is becoming the drink of choice for cash-strapped Americans in 2025. Let's start with the basics, because the Spaghett's origin story is almost as unusual as the drink itself. This peculiar cocktail was created in 2016 by bartender Reed Cahill at Wet City Brewing in Baltimore, Maryland. The drink gained wider recognition when Bon Appetit writer Alex Delaney tried it at Wet City and was so enamored that he wrote an article about it, propelling the Spaghett from local Baltimore curiosity to internet cult phenomenon that it is today. But here's what makes the Spaghett more than just kind of a quirky cocktail. It's essentially a blue-collar riff on the Aperol spritz. While the traditional spritz uses Prosecco, Italy's sparkling wine that can cost about $15 to $25 per bottle, the Spaghett uses Miller High Life, which retails for about $1 to $2 per bottle and has the brilliant slogan, the champagne of beers, as we all know. So think about the economics here. A proper Aperol spritz at a decent bar will run you maybe $12 to $18. A Spaghett, though, you can make it at home for about $3 to $4, and that's including Aperol and lemon or orange juice. That's not just a cost difference, that is a lifestyle statement. The timing of the Spaghett's rise to prominence isn't coincidental at all, though. As one food writer put it, the Spaghett may be, quote, the perfect summer cocktail, especially for anyone who's eschewing bars for park days and trying to save money this summer. That phrase, trying to save some money, is doing a lot of heavy lifting in 2025, with inflation still pinching household budgets, student loan payments resuming, and economic uncertainty making everyone a bit more cautious about spending. Americans are looking for ways to maintain their social lives without breaking the bank. And that's where we enter the Spaghett. It's a drink that lets you feel like you're having a sophisticated European aperitif while spending less than you would on a single craft beer at most establishments. What's particularly brilliant about the Spaghett is how it democratizes the cocktail experience. Traditional cocktail culture can be intimidating and expensive. You need the right glassware, the proper technique, premium spirits, and often a very well-stocked bar cart. The Spaghett throws all that out the window. As multiple recipe sites note, the method of making a Spaghett is just as enjoyable as drinking it. It's because half the way you make it is drinking it. It's unstructured and requires no fancy tools, techniques, or even accurate measurements. Most recipes literally suggest that you take a sip of the beer from the bottle and then pour Aperol and lemon juice in it to taste. You don't even need glassware. The drink is traditionally consumed straight from the Miller High Life bottle. It's cocktail culture just stripped of all pretense and expense. The Spaghett's ingredients tell their own economic story. Miller High Life, a 4.6% ABV beer, is no-frills American lager that's been marketed to working-class consumers since 1903. It's the beer your grandfather drank, that beer that built America, and that beer that doesn't pretend to be anything other than affordable and refreshing, especially where I live in Brooklyn, New York. Aperol, on the other hand, is an Italian aperitif that's becoming trendy in recent years, particularly thanks to the Instagram-worthy orange color of Aperol spritzes. But here's the thing, Aperol is only 11% ABV, making it one of the lowest alcohol spirits available. So even when you're adding the fancy ingredient of Aperol, you're not adding much cost or alcohol content. The result is what one food writer called, quote, a low alcohol cocktail no matter how you make it. Perfect for summer day drinking when you want to pace yourself but still feel like you're treating yourself to something special. The cultural implications, too, are fascinating. The Spaghett represents a collision between aspirational drinking culture and economic reality. Americans still want to participate in cocktail culture. We want our Instagram-worthy drinks, apparently, our sophisticated flavor profiles, our social rituals, but we also need it to be practical about money. The Spaghett bridges that gap perfectly. It delivers the bittersweet complexity of an Aperol spritz, the refreshing bubbles of a summer cocktail, and the social media appeal of a colored drink, all while using ingredients that won't stress out your budget. And let's talk about that social media angle, because it's crucial to understanding why the Spaghett works as both a drink and an economic indicator. The drink photographs beautifully. It looks really pretty. The orange-pink hue looks nice in a beer bottle, and the casual presentation actually enhances its appeal rather than detracting from it. But here's the key. When someone posts a photo of their Spaghett, they're not showing off an expensive cocktail. They're showing that they're resourceful and they know about cool underground drinks and that they can achieve sophistication on a budget. It's aspirational, but attainably so. Compare that to posting a photo of an $18 craft cocktail at a trendy bar, which can come across as 2013 Instagram as you could possibly make it, showing off wealth or poor financial judgment depending on your audience. The Spaghett's appeal extends beyond just individual consumers. Bars and restaurants have started adding it to their menus because it's incredibly cost-effective to make and offers high profit margins while still giving customers something interesting and fun. For establishments dealing with rising costs for rent, labor, and ingredients, a drink that can be made with minimal skill, requires no special equipment, and uses affordable ingredients is a godsend in this economy. They can price it reasonably while still making money, which means everybody wins. But here's where the recession indicator aspect really starts to kick in. The Spaghett's popularity is spreading precisely because traditional cocktail culture has just become way too expensive for many Americans to participate in regularly. I know, for example, I go out in New York City, in Brooklyn, or in Manhattan, anywhere, the cocktails they're inching towards $24. They're getting really bad. It's $21, $22, normal, $18 sometimes for a mocktail. It's getting nuts out here. And when going out for drinks becomes a special occasion expense rather than a casual Tuesday night activity, people start looking for some alternatives. The Spaghett provides that alternative. It lets you have the cocktail experience at beer price. This mirrors other recession-era phenomena we've kind of been seeing through history. During the Great Depression, people didn't stop wanting entertainment and social experiences. They just found cheaper ways to access them. The Spaghett is the 2025 version of a similar principle. What's particularly telling is how the drink has been described in various articles. Words like cheap, accessible, no frills, unpretentious appear repeatedly. One article describes it as cheap and cheerful, while another calls it bastardized Aperol Spritz, which makes me want it even more. These aren't insults, they're features. In an economic climate where many people are feeling financially stretched, cheap and accessible is really nice. And that's not a bug, that's the whole point. The broader context here is important. Consumer spending patterns in 2025 show people are increasingly price conscious, even in categories where they previously splurged. The restaurant industry has seen declining traffic as menu prices have risen, and the alcohol industry is dealing with changing consumer preferences driven partly by economic pressures. In this environment, a drink that offers the experience of cocktail culture at a fraction of the cost isn't just appealing, it's necessary for many consumers who want to maintain their social lives without going into crushing debt. Miller High Life has clearly recognized the opportunity. Their brand recently launched Spaghett frozen push pop inspired by the drink, showing how a nearly 120-year-old beer brand is embracing its role in a new cocktail trend. It's a really smart move. While craft beer and premium spirits struggle with price sensitivity, Miller High Life gets to be the star of the summer's hottest drink trend simply because it's affordable and available. The Spaghett isn't just a drink, it's a solution to a problem that millions of Americans are facing: how to maintain social connections and personal enjoyment in an increasingly expensive world. So the next time you see someone drinking what looks like an oddly colored beer from a bottle, don't dismiss it as a college-level drink. You might be looking at one of the most telling economic indicators of 2025, a drink that proves Americans will find a way to have fun and stay social, even when budgets are tight. The Spaghett's rise says something pretty profound about where we are as a society. We're resourceful, we're adaptive, and we're just not willing to give up on the small pleasures that make life enjoyable. We're just going to find cheaper ways to access them. Whether the Spaghett will remain popular when the economy improves remains to be seen, but for now, it's the perfect drink for our moment. Unpretentious, affordable, and surprisingly satisfying, just like Americans themselves sometimes, maybe. All right, and that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll catch you later. Hey everybody, I've been listening to this great podcast lately. It's called Latinx in Power, hosted by Thaisa Fernandez, and it's brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. So Latinx in Power is a podcast that features interviews with top-level executives, entrepreneurs, and innovators from Latin America, aiming to demystify the tech industry by providing listeners with an insider perspective and insights from Latin American leaders who have succeeded in their fields. A lot of great episodes on this one. My personal favorite recently was an episode with Isabel Alvarez, who is a graphic designer that designs cookbooks. She has 15 years of experience blending editorial design, branding, and experiential design. She really views design as a catalyst for meaningful social change, so I think this is a great episode to get you going with this show. You can listen to Latinx in Power wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, look. Side hustles fail when they consume all of your time. I mean, every single bit of it. The pros, though, work smarter with AI doing all the heavy lifting. To help you out, we just dropped the Side Hustle Accelerator database. You can search your exact problem for your side hustle, grab the perfect prompt, and get results. If you're struggling with marketing, content, and customer service, it's all solved in just seconds. This isn't just another tool, guys. It's your unfair advantage in a spreadsheet. So stop asking AI the wrong questions and start scaling with what actually works. You can get it for free in the link in our show notes. And you can stop right now, actually. Why don't you take a look down at those show notes and tap the link? You don't want to sleep on this.